Alrighty, folks, we are live. It is a late Tuesday, or rather Monday evening, Tuesday morning, and we do have some huge, major breaking news. Let me just do a quick sound check because you guys want to hear this. You're not going to have any glitches, any bumps in the audio, so let's make sure we're good. All right, we do sound good. Fantastic, fantastic. Welcome, everyone. We are live. And again, we do have huge, major breaking news. This is quite monumental. I don't think we've ever covered anything quite like this, at least in a long time from my recent memory. This is major. So let's just get the ball rolling, get started as quickly as possible because, hello, Allison, good to have you on here. Let me put something in the chat to kick this off and get that algorithm going. We want to get as many people watching as possible for this breaking news that we have to deliver. And let us know where you're tuning in from, city, state, location, whatever you want to tell us. Go ahead. And what time is it there? What's your time zone? Just curious, as I know it is quite late, but we do have some people hopping on. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Alrighty. So, and also make sure you give this video a big thumbs up to increase that algorithm. And if this live gets to 500 likes, we will do a cash giveaway where we give away $100 to a few of you lucky subscribers. Speaking of being subscribed, make sure you are subscribed and have notifications turned on. That way you don't miss a beat, you don't miss a live, you don't miss a recorded video, and you don't miss our YouTube shorts that we upload every other day. Next cash giveaway, by the way, at 20,000 subscribers. Could be in a few days, maybe a couple weeks, who knows. Awesome. Westchester County for Allison, and I am in Nassau County, not too far from you. Hello, Sally. Good to have you on. Alrighty, you are hour before us here in Central Time. Nice. Alrighty, folks. Without further ado, let's get started and get the ball rolling, folks. The Biden administration, the White House, is now signaling massive, momentous action here in regards to student loans. We have not seen anything like this in our lifetimes, in my lifetime, in your lifetime, I'm sure. Not even the discussion itself, let alone what could very well be taking place in this next week or so. Hello, Ronaldo. Hopefully, I pronounced that correctly. So, folks, we were talking about how the clock was ticking in regards to the student loan forbearance, right? And we were just anticipating another pause. Same old pause. Biden has already done it several times. It happened multiple times under the Trump administration. So both admins, made the pause on student loans many times. And now with the midterm elections approaching, we were just expecting another pause, which would not be a surprise. That would be pretty tame. And it would be ideal politically, right? I mean, it'd be terrible politically if they did not do another pause, because that would piss off so many voters and they might flip the other way or maybe not even vote at all. Broken promises from Democrats if they were to move towards that direction. So another pause, easy peasy, lemon squeezy, and that is exactly what we've been anticipating. But the clock is ticking and time is running out. And it's quite surprising that they're waiting so long, especially with the midterm elections and Democrats trying to tout their accomplishments and really, make the case for voting for them again and keeping them in office and making sure that Democrats have a majority of both chambers of Congress. So it would have just been a swift sign off on Biden's part to pause student loans. But no, Biden is announcing something, and there's been something in the works behind closed doors. There's been some speculation of it, right? Some slight estimates, and just pure guessing that the Biden administration might do a little something extra, a little cherry on top on the student loan forbearance and the student loan pause. But otherwise, nothing confirmed, nothing written, nothing proposed, and it was all just rumor, all just speculation. And we did talk about that. However, there is now strong indication that 100%, maybe 99%, that this will happen. The White House is now leaning towards canceling a lot, not just a little bit, but a lot of student debt for borrowers who make under a certain amount. Again, this is momentous. This is monumental. We have never, ever seen this before in this country, and it could very, very well happen in the near future. So, according to multiple sources familiar with the discussions, the plan is designated to offer the forgiveness to individuals who earn less than $125,000 per year. That might seem quite generous, but just so you understand, a lot of these wealthier kids that go to these higher end colleges who have all this debt, that income is actually quite low for the kids that have such kind of debt. Tens of thousands, maybe even 100, $200,000 plus in student debt. Those incomes, this income is actually pretty low. This is on the lower to middle class scale when you're talking about student loans, and it would be a cancellation of up to $10,000 in student loan debt per borrower. Now, in addition to that baseline of student loan debt forgiveness for individuals who fall under a certain income level, administration officials have also recently discussed the possibility of additional forgiveness for specific subsets of the population, according to sources familiar with internal discussions in the administration. The announcement could come as early as Wednesday, but it is not clear that a final decision on the details of the announcement, as well as the timing, has been made, and there could always be 11th hour changes, some last minute touch ups on this proposal. The White House is also expected to address in the coming days whether to extend again the current pause on federal student loan payments, which is set to expire at the end of the month on August 31st. So we could actually be getting a twofold here, a double whammy of both the student loan payment pause as well as a $10,000 debt cancellation. Of course, payments have not been required on most federal student loans since March of 2020. So it has been nearly 2.5 years since borrowers have had to, or at least were forced to make payments on their student loans. Certainly, some have tried to make attempts, and some are trying to put a little bit of a dent, and especially as they got employed again, if they were unemployed because of the pandemic. Of course, this is all due to COVID-19, and it's all stimulus era policies with COVID-19. Biden has extended the pause 4 times, most recently in April, arguing that it is necessary to allow federal student loan borrowers to get back on their feet. In recent days, White House officials have been in communication with lawmakers to discuss their thinking on student loan debt forgiveness ahead of the current pause on payments expiring. Last week, for example, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, Democratic Senator Elizabeth Warren of Massachusetts, and Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock of Georgia had a discussion with senior White House officials, and I'm sure they were vocal and gave their input onto this matter. Now, the White House has suggested in the past that Biden was considering canceling $10,000 per borrower, but excluding those who earn more than $125,000. So this is still in line with Biden's original idea and what he campaigned on. Now, setting an income cap, which has been the subject of intense debate both inside and outside the administration, was also crafted as a buffer against criticism that the forgiveness would benefit those with the means to manage their debt payments. Education Secretary Miguel Cardona said Sunday that Americans can expect a decision from the administration on student loans in the next week or so. With less than 2 weeks ago, Americans have been left guessing for weeks whether Biden will extend the current moratorium or perhaps forgive some of their debt. Now, according to the education secretary, he had said, quote, "We've been talking daily about this, and I can tell you that the American people will hear within the next week or so from the president and the Department of Education on what we're going to be doing around that." Now, he did not necessarily elaborate on the details, and he didn't want to get ahead of the announcement. Some Democratic lawmakers and advocates have been urging Biden to broadly cancel up to $50,000 in student loan debt per borrower. The president has consistently pushed back on canceling that much, and that is coming from senators like Elizabeth Warren and Chuck Schumer. They have suggested that insane worth of debt to be canceled. But Biden did originally pledge and campaign on $10,000, and he'd be sticking to his guns here. He would be still on par with what he originally proposed and what he campaigned on when he ran for president. And to Biden's credit, as I always like to mention, he has canceled more student loan debt than any other president, with his admin authorizing the cancellation of nearly $32 billion in loans, largely for borrowers who were defrauded by their for profit colleges and for permanently disabled borrowers. But again, no widespread, no mass cancellation on the scale that we could be witnessing here, which I would imagine would be in the hundreds of billions or over $1 trillion worth of student loan debt. Hello, Dow's Stock Talk. I wonder if your name is Dow. That would be pretty cool. Or if that's just for the channel name. Awesome, awesome. How's it going? And hello, Mikey XF23. Well, we're talking stimulus here, not necessarily a stimulus check, but this is still a form of stimulus for sure. And so that is what we know so far. Again, this is These are just embryonic stages here, primitive details when it comes to student loan cancellation. And we could be expecting this announcement very soon. Granted, we've already heard that before, that the announcement would be coming soon for student loans and whether or not that payment pause would be extended. So hopefully they're not dragging their feet here, and hopefully we will, in fact, get an announcement this week, ideally. Now, whether or not we're going to get an announcement on cancellation along with the payment pause at the same time simultaneously, I don't know if that's necessarily going to happen. It might take some time. This is a big deal. This is going to be cancellation, the likes of which we have never seen in this country, as we have said time and time again already. And I don't know if they're going to be able to work out the fine details and the nooks and crannies in time for the announcement. They probably already have their decision on the payment pause. They probably already know they're going to extend it for a few more months, maybe into 2023, maybe January 2023. Who knows? And so I'm sure they're still working out those fine details on student loan cancellation because they don't want to say one thing and then end up doing another, right? They want to make sure their announcement is exactly what they plan on doing. And they don't want to bait and switch and try to trick the voters, right? They want to be as consistent and honest as possible. And whether or not they could get those details in time for that announcement to also come with the payment pause, that is probably the question right now. And whether or not they want to do two separate announcements or one big announcement, one grand Biden at the podium with all the media watching in regards to student loans. Who knows what they want to do? I would imagine they want to get that perfect shot, that photo op of Biden announcing not only the payment pause and the cancellation as well. That would be quite historic. Now, we technically don't even know how exactly the cancellation would work because we still have not received any word yet on whether or not the president has the sole unilateral authority to cancel student loans on his own. Does he need the help of Congress? How is the Supreme Court going to actually play a factor into this? And will the Supreme Court perhaps obstruct, especially with that Republican majority? Maybe they'll find something in the Constitution that finds that, look, the president does not necessarily have the power if the president tries to do it on his own. And so, what is the Biden administration working out here? Are they looking at every single recourse and every which way this could go legally? Because you might have the Supreme Court, you might have all of the Republican Congress in the House and the Senate obstructing, and trying to impede any effort here to cancel student loans, because this would be widely popular with the American people. And I think it would really cement that winning streak and this, exact, uh, I would say, if you want to call it basically a triumph that the Democrats are having right now in regards to their legislation and what they've been able to pass. They've been able to do the Inflation Reduction Act. They've been able to push through other legislation. Granted, they kind of failed on abortion, right? They weren't necessarily able to codify that. However, Democrats have been on a winning streak lately, and it is looking up. It is looking like the Democrats are in a much better position now than earlier this summer with high inflation, high gas prices. Now that's still going on. Luckily, gas prices have dwindled down somewhat. But if Democrats could pull this off and get student loan cancellation under their belt, I think they could have an easy, decisive victory this midterm election. So that is what we know so far. We don't want to make any promises just yet, but it is looking like the White House is leaning towards some form of debt cancellation. So we will have more news for you folks, especially as the announcement hopefully comes this week. Hello, Bernardo. Hello, Marth. Good to have you on. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, definitely let us know in the comment section down below. I recommend the comment section because the chat may not always save for you guys with these live videos. Make sure you give this video a tremendous thumbs up, smash the like button, make sure you are subscribed and have notifications turned on if you want to get some free stocks, all me, all free. Use the links down below in the description of this video and meet me there. Looking forward to meeting you guys on social. I'm on or rather, that is the stock links, Robinhood and or Webull. So you can use those stock links. Got a little ahead of myself there. And then if you want to connect me on social media, connect me on TikTok, connect me on Facebook, Instagram. I'm on all the platforms. Links are down below. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Take care for now.